Hey everyone, it's Mike from Mike's Custom Saws. Finally back out on the 201. It's been a while, it's been a long time. This thing has been sitting on the bench for a couple months now. I did a couple other videos in the meantime, but finally ready to get back onto this guy. This was a saw that was given to me, so there's no rush on it. It's just one that I want to play with and see what we can do with. Since the last video, I did do a bunch on the jug. I got the exhaust completely ported out. I did some different stuff with the intake too, kind of interesting. I'll show you a close-up on that, and we're going to see how it goes. Don't know. We'll see. But other than that, just been got to do a little cutting today. Got the 038 Magnum out bit. I use that mainly for just doing firewood and bucking and such. Took a couple trees down over the last couple of weeks and got all that brush cleaned up and all the logs cut up into firewood and got that all stacked up and ready to go. So that was a lot of fun. But today what we're going to do is I've got to time the intake, and I've never done this before. I've never ported a piston. You know, I know it's pretty common knowledge in the two-stroke world that you can do that. I've never done it personally, so usually I do the intake work on the actual jug. So this time we're gonna do the piston. My plan, I've got my book here, and my plan is to set it up so that I can basically scribe a line in there, probably with a fine tip Sharpie. Probably would have been better if I put some layout fluid on the piston and then went in there and scribed it out. But I'm just gonna use a Sharpie and run the degree wheel to where I want it to be, and then scribe a line on there with the Sharpie, and then I'll know where I need to cut that piston out to. So right now I've got it set up for 76 degrees. Let's see here. 76 degrees before top dead center is the stock opening of the intake with my custom base gasket on there. So I shrunk that base gasket down from that first video you'd see. And I want to go to 81. So we're giving it 5 degrees of intake timing. So my plan will be to move it to 81 on the degree wheel and then mark it out, and then pull the jug off, so let's see what that looks like on the piston, and then grind that out of that piston and see what happens there. So let me bring you in closer and we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so I think you can see that where we've got 76 degrees on the degree wheel. That's before top dead center. And what I want to do here, that's when that intake is just opening up right now, just opening. So what I want to do is rotate this thing back towards me, and that's going to bring it to 81. It's just going to be lifting the piston up, or excuse me, sorry, it's going to be bringing it down, and then I can scribe my line. So I'm going to move the camera over to the intake side, and you'll be able to see that happening as I do it, as I rotate that to 81. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can see that the intake is just barely open right there. You can kind of see it in there. That is just opening up. Now I'm going to rotate this to 81. There is 81 degrees. So that piston has come down just as slightly, and that is going to make an area where that I can put a mark on it with the Sharpie and be able to get exactly where I need to grind to. Okay, so we're at our 81 right now. I'm gonna take a little Sharpie here, see if I can get that in the, it's a little fine tip Sharpie, and I'm gonna get that and scribe a line across the bottom of that piston there. So my hand might go in front of here. It's kind of hard with the camera, but I'm gonna try it here. So actually, I'm gonna get myself a light so that I can see this better. And I'm just gonna go right down in there, make myself a line going from one side of the intake to the other, because I want to know the width of that intake so that I know how far out I've got to grind from the bottom of the piston up. So you can probably see that through the camera now. Nice little black line in there, and I'll probably go just up to that line, and that should give me my 81 degrees before top dead center, what I'm looking for. Let's pull the jug off and see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. I've got my all the screws loose on there. I'll pull this jug off of there. You're seeing it for the first time as me too. And there's our mark right there. Let's see if I can get that in to focus. There we go. Alright. So now I know exactly where I need to grind up to. And the edges of those lines, kind of right out here. And right out there, straight down, is where I need to grind that piston away. And that should be my 81 degrees that I'm looking for on the intake. So let's get to grinding. All right. So here's the piston. Let's see if I can get that to come in. I'm not sure if it will or not. No, maybe out here. I made a couple lines going down, some vertical lines, just so that for reference for myself. I'm going to try to round that off and then come up into that area that I marked out, so it'll be kind of follow the same area that Stihl had actually designed in the piston, where it rounds right there. So I'm going to kind of come up and then round it off so that we're still getting the opening, but it's a gradual opening at that 81 degrees. Just kind of thinking that might be the best way to go with this. So I'm going to try to zoom you in. This first time for me doing any grinding while filming, so we'll see how this goes. But show you the finished product either way. Alright, so let's get on it. Okay, I'm hoping that this will show up. Here's my piston, there's my marks. Here's my grinder, I poured them. And start grinding this thing out. See how this works out. My apologies if my hand gets in the way here, or the lighting. I'm not sure how it's going to be with the headlight, but I got to work with the headlight. Oh, I got to get my reading glasses also. Where did I put those at? Yep, I got to find those. Alright, I got them. They were on my head. Typical, right? Alright, let's see how this goes. Right now I'm just elongating the stock intake opening that Stihl had done. Just taking their area and raising it, widening it up. opening it up. Hopefully you guys can see that. Just opening it up a bit. Alright, I'm just about up to my line now. Now I got to be careful on where I come in with this thing. Alright, I'm going to finish this up off camera. This is kind of where am I at here? And turn this light off here. Get the glasses off. There we go. You can kind of see it's coming together though. Got right up to that line, and I'm widening it out. I'm gonna finish up off camera and show you the finished product here. Okay, I think I got you quite a bit zoomed in there. I just finished grinding. Get that grinder out of the way. Let's see if I can get this in frame here. So you can see where it's actually rounded in this area. I didn't square off the corners of where my lines were. And then I took about maybe a quarter of that black line off the top, if that. I kind of went just to it and then rounded them out to the width of the intake. So I'm going to chamfer all these edges here and then throw it back on the saw, and we'll see where the numbers line up. I think it's going to be pretty good though. Alright, let's get these glasses out of the way. Just got done chamfering all the edges. There's the finished product. I think that's going to do pretty good. I used some brake clean just to wipe it off, and use some compressed air to blow it out. I think that's going to be good. For the chamfering, these are see if they'll show up. It's a diamond blade basically. It's just a little diamond bit. Use that to kind of bevel those edges up a little bit, make it nice and smooth. Let's take it back to the saw and see where we ended up. First, I want to show you something though. So I'm hoping this will show up. I may have to get a light. Let me get a light here. So I tried something different here. I don't know if that's going to show up, but you can kind of see like little holes in there maybe. Yeah, you can see them there. Right there. Kind of snorted it out of the intake up into the straddle port up in here. So see if I can get that light on there again, and no, it's not going to show up there. It shows up much better coming this way where you can kind of see those lines there. Let me see if I can bring that up. You can kind of see them a little bit right there. You can see them right here and here where I came in the intake and went up this way and up that way, up into the stratos. So my theory is maybe you got that intake charge coming in, and some of that charge coming in, the air fuel mixture, will be able to push up into the straddle port where it would be basically a wasted air in a sense of filling that straddle port so that you're pushing fresh air out the exhaust, but I'm not really worried about the emissions on this thing. So fill it with a pre-charge and get the max capacity up into that top end there. So we'll see how it works. Hey, it's fun. This is a play saw anyway, so hopefully put this back in there and we'll see where the numbers line up. Let's go back to the saw. So hopefully you can see that intake. I'm gonna just finish spinning these jug bolts back down. Get this thing tightened up. We'll see where we sit. Alright, a little torque on each one of those. There we go. Alright, so hopefully we can see that. Spin it around a little bit there. There we go. There's my intake coming open. Coming back down again. So let's go down to bottom dead center according to the degree wheel. And then we're coming back up again here. And we need to be opening up at 81. So we're at 90. We're at 85. Let's see where we're at. There is 81 right there on the degree wheel, and it looks like we are just about opened up. So let's get a light in there. Yep, let me see, I'm trying to look through the camera here. Yep, there we go. 81, we're just about opened up. That's exactly where we wanted to be at. So if I bring it back down to 76, so that's where we used to open up at, 76, and you can see how much we took off there. And then let's bring it back to 81. Okay, back to focus there. So I didn't move it at all, that's still at the 81. I'm gonna just back it down to 80. Or let's go to 82. That's 82 right there. What are we at there? That's 83. So 83 is barely opening. $82. I'd say we went to 82. It's more like it, probably. So I might have gone a little bit further than I wanted to go. Let me take that light in there again. Yeah, probably about 82 is where I finished up at. So I'm gonna make those notes in the book. Make sure that I write that down. That actually went to 82. Probably took a little bit, got a little aggressive with it, with the grinder there. But we'll see how it works. It might be a good mistake. I mean, we're talking 1 degree, so not a big deal. Okay, so that does it for the piston on the intake side. And so we're all ground out. I did make the adjustments to my notebook. Went to 82 degrees, so it gives us duration of 164 degrees. I'm going to see how that works out for the saw. Plus, did that little snorting on that intake. We'll see how that works out. Didn't get to show you the exhaust. I should have showed you that too. That came out really good. We raised that up. How many degrees did we raise the exhaust up? 4 degrees. So we went out to 104 degrees after top dead center with a duration of 152 degrees. So full saw is ready. I'm going to clean up all these parts, and then the next time we get together, we'll be starting to assemble. This crankcase is super tight, so that's good to go. It'll be pretty interesting. Get this thing put back together and see how she runs. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Mike's Custom Saws.